everyone, welcome to Withering Effect episode 78. Today's date is January 17th, 2021, and I am tired. Or Duds versus known to the rest of the interwebs.
Yeah, you're not tired. Name's Duds. I'm Jimbo, by the way. You may also know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So why are you so tired?
We talked about this earlier before the show. So last night I was having some chest pains, which as someone with high blood pressure is quite scary. But I had also known I hadn't been sleeping very well the last couple days. Like I average about 3 hours of sleep. So I just went ahead and laid down to bed. And I mean, almost immediately, as soon as I laid down, went off to sleep, I felt perfectly fine. The problem was at 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard scratching on my walls. And I thought, stupid dog scratching on the walls, waking me up. So I yelled at the dog. Turns out it wasn't the dog. So I had to apologize to the dog. So did that. Went over. I figured there must have been a mouse or squirrel or something got in through the attic, fell down the wall, got stuck down there, and was like, well, I can't do anything about it. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I just banged on the wall to let it know and knock that crap off. I'm going to go to sleep and we'll figure this out in the morning. Well, got back in bed, laid down. About an hour, was starting to fall asleep. Scratching started again. This time it didn't sound like wood scratching, it sounded like plastic scratching. So I went, oh no, this stupid animal is chewing at the electric box in the wall. I ran up to the wall and I went to bang on it to let it know, you won't die if you keep chewing on the electrical wires, you big dummy. Sit still till morning so I can get somebody over here to get you out of my wall without killing yourself. But as I looked away from the wall itself, turned around to go to bed, I could have sworn I saw two little beady eyes underneath my dresser.
Ooh.
Now, my dresser is a big oak dresser, and it is heavy. Like, you can take all the drawers out, and it takes two people easily to still pick it up and move it. This was one dresser I bought, I don't know, 15 years ago at a yard sale because I needed a new dresser. I was like, oh, that's a really nice dresser. Now I kind of regret buying such a big, heavy dresser. But so I sat there and I slowly was working the dresser away from the wall, was putting this little non-kill mouse trap with peanut butter in it, hoping he'd walk in there. And I stood there for like an hour watching this mouse trap. I mean, just me in the dark looking like a crazy man staring at this thing. And at this point, it's like 6 a.m., 6:30, something like that. And I couldn't take it anymore. Call my dad up, be like, hey, coming to he's asleep, so he's not answering. So I finally go over and I wake my roommate up, which I hate doing, but I woke him up and he was like, yeah, you know what? Let's get this mouse out of this house because now I can't sleep knowing there's a mouse in this house. So we're like blocking off sections in my room. And I mean, I tear this dresser apart, like down to the bare bones. No mouse. So we went, oh crap, when you came to wake me up, it must have walked somewhere else in your room. So we check under the bed, no mouse. I go into my closet, and my closet's a mess. Like, ever since I moved in this house, I just kind of threw things into the closet. I didn't actually put things away like I should have. And I went, oh no. So he guarded the door to make sure it couldn't get past me and sneak out into the other parts of the house. And then I tore apart my closet. And by that, I mean every single thing that was in the closet got taken out of the closet. No mouse. It was like, what the heck? And at this point, we're not even finding mouse droppings. So that's even the more confusing part. So then I go into the bathroom because I have a bathroom attached to my bedroom. I tear apart the bathroom. No mouse, no droppings. At this point, we're like, he's got to be in that dresser still, tucked up in there. Let's take the dresser outside and tear it apart some more. So we take this dresser outside. Sorry, Carl, you're going to have to bleep that. And tear it apart. No mouse, no droppings, no chew marks. The only thing I think of is because it's such a dense wood, a mouse chewing on this wood wouldn't make a difference anyways. But at this point, we're like, where the heck is the mouse? And then I'm questioning my sanity. Like, is it because I've not slept very good that I saw this stupid mouse? And I'm just imagining things? What is going on with me? And then at this point, it's like 9 a.m. and I have to hurry to put everything up and clean up. And then get breakfast. And I think I sat down at 9:57 with the computer turned on and scarfed my breakfast down and give you a call at 10 so we could start the show.
Yeah.
It's a rough night.
I think we're all questioning your sanity right now.
Dude, I'm
But
really questioning it. Of course, I'm going to the part like, how am I going to go back into that room tonight and try to sleep?
oh, especially if you hear scratching, that would definitely freak me out a little bit.
Oh, I'd go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
The only good thing is my roommate has tomorrow off, so if I have to emergency call somebody to come look at the house, he'll at least be home.
Yeah.
So that's nice. But oh man, I just want to sleep throughout the entire night for once. I feel real bad for blaming the dog, but she's usually the one that wakes me up in the middle of the night.
Yeah. She should be catching mice at night.
Well, and that's the other thing. So she has this stupid cat toy that has a little mouse inside of it that squeaks. And it's about the size of the mouse I thought I saw. So I kind of wonder if she didn't eat this mouse because halfway through cleaning the or ripping apart the closet, she threw up.
Mm.
It's like, did you eat that mouse?
Maybe.
Maybe. But other than the fiasco last night, this week I ended up learning how to make GIFs because I'm trying to I was trying to do the YouTube short thing, and it turns out you can only do that from your phone.
Oh.
Which, come on, YouTube. That just means you don't care about quality, you care about quantity because you can't quality do something from your phone.
Yeah.
You can do stuff from your phone, but it is not the same quality as from your computer.
Right.
I know people will try to argue with me till they're blue in the face, but you're wrong.
No. The editing programs on your phone are nothing compared to what's on the PC.
Right. Minecraft wise, I've been working in community areas. I did the Blaze Farm tunnel in stream. You saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working in the shopping center, building new roads in there.
Oh.
That's pretty nice. I want to do some custom trees, some more decorating more. Basically, the torch spam is really bothering me too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get rid of torches somehow. But if people want to come help out, I'm all for it because it's a big area.
Maybe. I don't know if you're talking to me, but maybe.
No, just anybody in general.
I'm not making custom trees. Not doing it.
No, I figured not. It's just the torch spam I want to try to regulate.
Yeah.
Maybe a little help with the roads because that's not hard. It's just understanding the concept.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I've been working on streaming stuff. I don't think I've really changed anything on my stream in like 6 months to a year. So it might be good for a nice clean update. So worked on that a little bit. But that's kind of it. Not a lot of Minecraft, a lot of other stuff this week. What about you? What have you done this week?
Same here. Not too much Minecraft. Usually when I get on, I have to gather resources.
Yeah.
I'm trying to finish some things to get into the next episode, which I didn't record anything this week. Probably a couple things I could have recorded, but it would have been, I don't know, really small. I have an idea for the next episode. I just haven't got to that point yet. Kids go back to school this week, so I'll be able to record some. Hopefully get the episode out for Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing some 7 Days to Die with Mrs. Slice lately.
Gotcha.
It's starting again to get old, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like the beginning stage of the game. It's real fun to try to, get your character stats up and everything. But like once you've made it, there's really, I don't know, there's not much to do. It kind of gets boring. In Minecraft, you can keep, some may say it gets boring in Minecraft after you get so far along.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have like these projects in mind that you can't do on these other games, it can last a lot longer. But 7 Days kind of wears out after a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And I managed to watch The Mandalorian in like 2 days, the whole series.
Uh-huh.
And it was awesome.
Yes.
I liked it. Yeah. And I haven't watched much Star Wars. We've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
And some are ashamed. But
Shame.
after watching The Mandalorian, I started on the Star Wars series. So I'm going to watch all those because I'm pretty into it now. The storyline is where everyone, is where it gets its, I don't know, popularity. The storyline's a great storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't too familiar with it. Now I'm starting to be like, oh, this is how things are. This is how things go. I was young when I watched it before, so I'm kind of, getting the grasp of how Star Wars storyline goes. So it's a lot. I don't know. I'm pretty interested to see how it goes. I could talk to you more about that afterwards. But that's pretty much been my week.
Real quick, and we may
Mhm.
talk about it in the post show or whatever, but what order are you watching it in? Are you going to do 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3? Or are you doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
No, I'm going to do it from the date it's released.
Okay,
Release dates.
cool.
Is that the way to do it?
I don't think either way is wrong,
Okay.
but I feel that the way they came out in the release date is the better way just because that's the way they happen, so you're on schedule with everyone else and how you see things.
Right. Yeah, I feel like you'd get too much things given away to you
Mm-hmm.
if you were to follow that line. So I'm going to go, yeah, what came out first and get the surprises as it goes along.
Yeah.
Because I don't know much about the storyline, just a little bit, but especially after watching the first episode last night. Well, it wouldn't be the first episode, it'd be what, the fourth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Storyline's great so far, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest.
Well, let's go ahead and hop off some Star Wars talk because I could talk about Star Wars all day. But we have some news this week, finally.
Yeah.
So this is from Minecraft.net, and they say, Happy Friday. We're now releasing 1.16.5, which fixes 2 critical stability issues. We're not releasing more information about these issues at this time to protect servers that have not yet updated. So obviously there's some security breaches. What exactly those are or what they do, they have not listed, obviously for our own safety.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like they want everyone to update.
Yeah, I wonder if they have another release in mind, or is this the final?
I think it's the final.
It's the final? Okay. That last
I
little
think so.
message kind of confused me a little bit. Like maybe there's another issue that they can't, disclose that they need to fix.
I think with the next part of their message, which is what I gave you in your notes, kind of insinuates.
That the Caves and Cliffs snapshot update, more than likely this week. Now, we record on Sunday. This is released on Wednesday. You should have got it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Look for that. Not too sure as of right now what to expect, but
Yeah,
should be out there.
but as of right now, I think that's kind of it for news. Nothing pressing coming from Mojang.
Yeah, that's about it.
I say nothing pressing other than updating to 1.16.5 to save your server for reasons we don't know.
Yeah, hopefully that helps a lot of people out.
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and hop into some listener comments because this listener comment was for our Patreon show, which, by the way, if you guys didn't know, we have a Patreon account. We do multiple shows. For $1, you get a pre and post show and Discord roles and all that stuff. I think it's $3 a month. You get everything the $1 did, and you get this variety show we do once a month where we basically talk about anything and everything that doesn't pertain to Minecraft. We try to save that for the show. So when this question popped up for that, I went, no. It's too good of a Minecraft question to put in the variety show. So we brought it to this show, and it's from FragileRock. He asked, how do you see the 117 drop affecting various SMPs, particularly ones involving content creators? I don't specifically mean ripple effect SMP. He goes, do you think creators will upgrade to 117 or start fresh? I'm not sure Cliffs and or Caves and Cliffs or whichever it is will be tantalizing as the Nether update. And again, that was FragileRock. Thank you so much, FragileRock. That's a really good question.
Yeah, it is.
Jimbo, what are your thoughts? Do you think people are going to start fresh or they're just going to upgrade and keep going?
I almost feel like I guess it would depend how much is explored already. Like the ripple effect. I know he's not specifically talking about the ripple effect, but we've covered a lot of area. And when the caves and cliffs come out and we update it, now we have moderators that can save certain areas from being updated and update certain areas where people aren't. But I feel like, I don't know, people might want to do a cave base, or they might want to use some of this stuff that they probably can't get unless they update. I was thinking about that before, like how are we going to implement the new update into our world? Are we going to have to finish our projects to start over? Because that's what you would have to do if you were to start over. You have to finish what you got. If there's too much to finish, you might not want to jump right into it. But it's nice to get an early start on those if you can.
Correct.
just for content.
And I'm with you. It kind of depends on the SMP. Looking at Ripple Effect, I would say that we would probably just update. But when you look at, and I'm going to include Hermitcraft in this also, but when you look at servers that don't wipe and start new and they just upgrade to a new area, I feel that you really don't see a lot of people taking advantage of the new areas that are still playing around their old area. They just go to the new area to get the new content and come back, which definitely happened in Ripple Effect in Season 2, because we had a Season 2.5. And I was one of those people who went to 2.5 and then came back because I had too much stuff I wanted to get done in my base then.
I was one of those people.
Yeah. So it depends. If I had a choice, I would probably lean closer to wiping and starting over.
Yeah, it's probably where I'm at.
That's the kind of person I would want to be able to finish some of my stuff, though. If I'm like, if 117 came out today, I would downvote and say, no, let's not upgrade. Let's finish and then wipe and start new.
Yeah, when you have these big projects going on, especially like a base, my base in particular, it's 301 blocks wide all the way to bedrock. I don't want to just throw that away. I put a lot of work into that. That's something you want to finish, and depending on what you've built, some people can toss that to the side, or finish in time. But that's what's nice about knowing when it is to update, so you can get things ready if you can.
Yeah.
Now there's something about like a new fresh world that, activates your server.
Right.
Gets everyone going, and that's also helpful as well. Something to consider to give your server a little boost.
Well, and I was going to mention that this season on Ripple Effect's actually been quite slow compared to last season. We had the big rush at the beginning like we always get, and then let's face it, we're all adults, so real life has gotten in the way for most of us.
Right.
And it's never really picked back up. Stream days usually get more people on, obviously, but after that, it's back to, I think I only see 3 to 4 people online at any given time. That's only my time zone, so maybe there's a lot of people playing in the different time zones when I'm at work and stuff, but people have real lives and they're not able to jump on as much. So with our server, yeah, is it worth wiping? Is it not? I don't know. It's such a... When I first read this question, I went, oh, that's an easy answer. And then the more you think about it, it's like, it really, really, really depends on the situation and the kind of SMP you play on.
Yeah, I agree. There's so much caves and cliffs. It changes not just the Nether. Like you can update the Nether and another update. That's easy. But this is all overworld update.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be you're going to update and everything's going to be the same. And you're not going to be able to find anything that's new. You're going to have to go way out of your way unless you make a storyline, kind of like we did in 2.5. We got lost and we found a new area where we can use the new update. That's the only way I could see without updating to use, or with updating to use these new blocks in the new update. Just to go away from where you're at to keep the same world.
I agree. And like I said, it kind of all depends. For me, I'm not really looking at terrain generation at all because the caving doesn't interest me in Minecraft. It's one of my least favorite things. And even seeing some of the stuff they've come up with the new caves, it doesn't really interest me still. And I haven't seen what an actual cliff, quote unquote, is going to look like yet. But the stuff that we have seen is stuff that I had back in like 1.10. Me and Bank came up with a good code formula to create natural mountain generation. So you saw it in Comic Craft Season 3. We had special mountains there that looked more natural and played more natural. So it's like, yeah, I've been there and done that. I'm more interested in the features like tinted glass. Really excites me. Seeing all the stuff it can do.
Yeah.
Skulk sensors, that excites me. Warden, yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm going to be staying away from that fool too much, though, because he going to murder me. But
yeah, and that's another thing to consider. Like, you have the Warden and those challenges. It's not going to be much of a challenge if you're already in your full netherite armor. Yeah, I bet it would be a little bit of a challenge, but like, it's gonna be way easier. than the beginning of the game and stumbling upon one of those.
Yeah.
It's another thing to consider.
I do have a thought that I just kind of popped in my head about the warden, that if a Mojang dev is listening. So when I see the warden, I went, man, that thing's beastly. It's going to be a pain in the butt to kill and everything. And then I realized, well, you can like stack jump right out of its reach and just shoot arrows down on its head till it dies or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what if, so the warden does that yelling thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Real loud thing. What if that yelling thing has like a knockback effect? So if you're standing on a ledge, it'll knock you off the ledge. So you have to be down with it.
Yeah.
Instead of just pillaring right above its head and shooting arrows down at it. Now, again, there are ways to get around that too, but it just could be another thing to throw in there. I don't know how hard that would be to implement, or if I'm just talking on my butt and they've already come up with the perfect warden.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, but you got anything else for listener comments?
No, great question, FragileRock, by the way.
Very great question. Stumped us. But let's move to the Discord, which is where this question was dropped off. The Discord is a great place for you guys to communicate and everything with us. If you don't believe me, take Brownie Bit's word for it. Take it away, Brownie.
Hello, everyone! Your favorite sweet treat, Brownie Bits here, and I am a member of the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to get to know the people from the show and share cookies with your favorite like-minded Minecrafters. It's the only place to throw cakes at... I mean submit your questions for upcoming guests and share your opinions about the game. Add brownies! Excuse me. Sugar Rush the Discord today using the link in the show notes, and I will see you there.
All right. Thanks again, Brownie, for plugging our Discord. And I'm just going to go, Carl, I wrote a fancy script and everything for the Discord ad last week, and now it's gone.
It is.
It's gone. It just says, this week, Discord ad, Brownie Bits. I had like a cool saying and everything that I knew I could change up every week. Now it's gone forever. I'm never going to remember that script.
Gotta change it back.
Gotta change it back.
Change again.
Yeah, I've learned lately I'm not very good just making scripts up anymore. I need to read them. But Brownie Bits, thank you so much for plugging our Discord. Our Discord is a very active community, and I absolutely love it. But it is also the only place you can get involved in Mending Minecraft, our new vote for every week. This week, we asked you to choose between one of 3 biomes for us to talk about and improve. Your choices were the Snowy Beach, Badlands, and Basalt Deltas.
And the winner of this week is... Badlands. Congratulations, Badlands. We'll congratulate the biomes too. Why not?
Every time I hear the name Badlands, though, I just go Badlands.
I don't, on the other hand.
You're not as sleep deprived as I am.
Right. It was actually a close vote between Badlands and
It was.
Snowy Beach. Snowy Beach had 22, Badlands with 24, and Basalt Deltas with 10. No one likes the Basalt Deltas.
I love the Basalt Deltas.
It looks cool. I don't like being there.
Yeah, it's the coolest looking nether biome, but also one of the scariest.
Yes. A few things on the Badlands. Badlands are a rare, warm biome featuring mounds of terracotta coming in various different colors with 6 different variants. The 6 different variants are the Badland variants. The variants of the Badlands, you have the regular Badlands, the Badlands Plateau, modified Badlands Plateau, wooded Badlands Plateau, modified wooded Badlands Plateau.
Oh, man.
And eroded Badlands.
I love the eroded Badlands. They're the coolest.
Yeah, a lot of plateaus in the Badlands.
Mm-hmm.
Specific blocks are red, orange, yellow, white, light gray, brown, and regular terracotta. You can find those. Also red sand. Mine shafts generate at much higher elevations in these biomes, often exposed to fresh air. Gold ore generates up to elevation Y79. Wow. Rather than normal Y32, and at much higher rates than the rest of the world. So if you can't get gold in the Nether, there's plenty of it in the Badlands.
Yep.
And it also never rains there. That's about it.
I just think back to the one Hermitcraft season where they built basically all inside of Badlands on the plateaus.
Yeah.
I love that so much. I love how everyone was so close together and such.
Yeah, it's got a certain feel to it,
Yeah.
the Badlands.
So now comes my improving section, which was really easy for Badlands. I think Badlands has a ton of potential and a lot of fun stuff. So let's go with some obvious things. And one of the first obvious things was skeleton horses. So right now you can see skeleton horses from lightning strikes, and then you get what I call ghost riders, or the four riders of the apocalypse, whatever they're really called. Skeletons on there.
Mm-hmm.
And that stinks because if you want a skeleton horse, you run the chance of it being a trap horse and spawning that. So sometimes you stay away and you don't want to fight those guys, so you're more likely to just kill the horse.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like the Badlands to be a naturally spawning area for skeleton horses. And I think they should be definitely rare, maybe a little less rare than the formidable pink sheep, but still more likely to spawn normally there. Like if you find a skeleton horse in a Badlands, more than likely it's not a trapped horse, and it's a good horse for you to take.
Yeah. Well, there's no lightning strikes in the Badlands, so you might not see any there. Yeah, that'd be a good spot.
The next thing is you don't have any villages in the Badlands, right?
No villages.
No villages. So I thought about, we have abandoned villages now. What if you could get a ghost town at the Badlands? So it's an abandoned mining town. You could have a water tower, a train station, but like straight up Western theme. It doesn't look like a normal village.
Yes.
So it could show like, hey, civilization lived here like this, but now they've obviously moved somewhere else because it's the Badlands and it's bad to live there and everything like that.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind it not even being a ghost town, maybe have a villager variant, but like a Western style. I like it, gives you that Western feel. And I mentioned gives you a certain feel. It's definitely that Western feel you get when you're at the Badlands. So I like that. Like that idea.
Yeah, and I thought it'd be a great place to bring in some new structures that could maybe mean something. Like the desert, you have a well to find water. Badlands, you don't really have that. So what if you had a water tower? The train station, we know there's mine shafts. Maybe you can actually find tents and stuff around the mine shaft for a mining community or something like that. Some sign of life, basically. This area was used at some point. It could be abandoned now, or like Jimbo said, you could have villagers there now also. I'd be good either way. And finally, I'm going to be doing this with every biome that wins. It needs its own tree type. And for Badlands, I chose the petrified tree because that's in the game. It's hidden in the code somewhere. I don't know if they've taken it out actually, but it was in the game, in the code somewhere. So to bring the petrified tree out of the code and kind of have it buried, not like growing, but kind of like a fossil, maybe 1 or 2 blocks underneath the surface, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, new wood types, new tree types would be pretty cool to see. I don't think there's any trees. I mentioned the wooded Badlands Plateau. That's where you'll get your trees, horses sometimes.
Yeah, and that's just oak, I think.
Yeah, you'll just get oak from that. Now, there was a biome vote. Badlands was in that. Didn't win. The mountains won. But they mentioned tumbleweeds would be added in that biome. A different cactus variant.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed those. They got like the pink flowers on them.
I tried not to look at that vote, so I wasn't copying it.
Yeah. Well, I just figured I'd put this out there because I know this is things they plan on introducing to the Badlands. And vulture. The vulture circles your loot. Apparently, that was one of the mechanics of that. I don't know what the tumbleweed does. Actually,
tumble?
Probably just tumble. Yeah, probably. That's a good explanation.
Yeah, I can see why Badlands didn't win that vote. I don't think any of those things bring anything new except for maybe the new cactus type. The tumbleweed, you have the dead bush, feels like it kind of does the same thing as a tumbleweed would. So
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah, you figure if you break the tumbleweed, you just get what a dead bush would give you, sticks, or maybe it would give you dead bushes. You wouldn't have to actually silk touch them or
Yeah.
whatever you got to do to get those.
And the vulture, I have a feeling that they're using the vulture as a way to beacon your dropped items without putting a beacon there. But the way it sounds is like the vulture will attack your fallen loot, which means now you lose all your gear and stuff, even though you're trying to get back to it. I don't think that's what they were intending it to do, but that's what it sounds like it would do. And I can see why people didn't vote for it just for that.
Yeah, that's all up to interpretation, I guess, with the vulture. They just said they like loot, so you don't know pretty much what they're going to be doing with it. Are they going to take it, destroy it, or just circle it? So, yeah, it's still unclear about that.
Yeah. Taking dropped loot, to me, that's a no-no. I mean, you already died, and it's already a hard time to be able to find your loot and get it back. So to have something messing with it when you're not looking, no.
Yeah, that'd be a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things I want to add to your town.
Okay.
It'd be cool to see like a jailhouse. You normally see those in like a western town.
Yeah.
With maybe a pillager inside of it.
Oh, that could be cool.
Maybe you can find a pillager there, but he's like passive. They took his weapon. So you have a passive pillager in there. And those don't spawn naturally, so it'd be
right
the one place you can find one of those. So I thought that'd be a cool addition.
That'd be kind of cool. And maybe if you let it go, it leads you to a pillager outpost.
Yeah. I don't know if they generate in the Badlands.
I don't think they do. And I think the AI for that would be way too much strain on the game.
Yeah, we get enough mine shafts in the Badlands, but it'd be nice to see buildings above land.
Yeah.
Some other generations.
All right. Should we move on to our main topic this week?
Yep. Pretty good discussion.
Yeah. The main topic was a little tough to come up for this week. I think we came up with it at the last second.
Last night.
Yeah. We expected a Caves and Cliffs update this week, and we would be talking about that. But since that didn't happen, had the idea about let's honor the hoe becoming a useful item in 1.16 and now not being one of the most useless items. So we're going to rank our now top 5 useless items in Minecraft with the exception of no poisonous potatoes, because that's an easy thing. And I don't think we did any mobs, we didn't do any blocks. It's just items.
Yeah, it looks like it. Just items. Maybe blocks, I don't know.
Yeah, now that you guys have the parameters, Jimbo, read out your number 5.
My number 5 has been getting a little bit of use lately. I've seen some really cool uses, but I never use it, and I never really see it, and that's the furnace minecart.
I can see that.
It's pretty cool how, it can run itself.
Mm-hmm.
Or when the furnace is fueled up. Yeah, you just never see it. You just never see it used. It's a lot easier just to go without and just to push it. But there are some instances where it's logical to use. It's just I never use it.
Yeah, I think it would get more use if you could link minecarts.
Yeah.
And because you can't, I think that really hurts it, which is a shame because with the chain block now being in the game, you should be able to craft a linking cart, which is just a minecart with a chain on it that would automatically connect to any minecart in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could see where furnace minecart would be down the list. I mean, gold rails or powered rails are way better than a furnace minecart for sure.
Yeah.
My number 5 is any gold tool. Originally, it was any gold item till I realized, well, powered minecart rails are pretty important, and you have golden apples, okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, well, I wear golden boots because of piglins. I still go with golden armor is still useless, and the fact that they made you wear gold armor to get around piglins is not fun. Like, I rank that up there with phantoms killing you at night for not sleeping. I think that's really dumb. But I shortened it down to any gold tool. Because let's face it, iron's such an easy thing to get, and it's got way more durability. Doesn't matter if you swing a gold tool faster, because it's just going to break even faster anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time you get diamonds, it's not hard to make a diamond hoe, diamond shovel, and all that stuff. And not to mention, now you got netherite. Now your item's never going to break. So it's like, why would you even spend the time crafting a gold tool when you need gold armor and gold carrots, golden rails, all that stuff? So yeah, 5's golden. Gold tools, they stink. Useless.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice if they like came automatically with, I know it has a little bit more efficiency, but even up that a little bit. You know they're going to break in no time.
Yeah.
Maybe give it a little bit more efficiency to give it a little bit more use, but I'm with you. I don't use gold for really anything. Even my armor nowadays, I'll just run past the piglin or fly past them. You know, I can get away from them faster than they can get me. So
Yeah.
you're right with the armor too. You know, you don't use it as much, but there is a use for it.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 4, I think a lot can agree with me here, is beetroot.
Mm-hmm. Except for me.
Yeah, I would like to hear your take on it, but my take is beetroot, it's not a good food source, which is originally what it's intended for. There is a use for it, though. You could use it for food, and you could use it for red dye. So there are uses for it. It's just, why would you make a beetroot farm to get red dye? You're not going to use it for food, possibly to feed for villagers. That could be another use. But why use it for red dye if you can make an iron farm and get iron with your red dye?
Mm-hmm.
I don't use it. If you have a full inventory, beetroot's the first thing to go.
100% agree with that. Beetroot for me is useless or useful in decoration and decoration only. It's one of the cooler looking crops to plant. So you'll see a lot when I'm trying to do a fake farm that's just to look pretty. I will have beetroot planted around because it's such an odd looking crop. It kind of stands out, looks kind of cool.
So it's more like a decorative use for you. I guess you could use it that way.
Yeah. My number 4, I originally I put it on the list and took it off the list, put it on the list, took it off the list, all because of 117. And it's staying on the list because of 117. That's rabbit hide.
Mm-hmm.
Rabbit hide's useless. So you can craft leather out of rabbit hide, but it takes 4 rabbit hide to craft 1 leather. Useless. Then you have the rabbit hide. Can craft bundles. Useless. Yeah, I don't see the point in killing the rabbits other than for a rabbit's feet. And those are so rare, it's like, why even bother doing that?
Mm-hmm.
The potion you get from using rabbit's feet's not even that great. You can use a beacon that does it better. Why even bother? So...
Right. And I feel like the rabbit's hard to kill for a passive mob. You know, why go through that struggle to get rabbit hide?
It's hard if you don't do the cruel thing and lure the rabbit to you with a carrot and then smack it in the head with the sword.
Yeah.
That way is kind of easy, but it's like... it's so mean because rabbits are such a cute animal in Minecraft. But yeah, the hide, useless.
I agree. My number 3 then.
Okay.
Bottle of XP.
Yes.
Every time I find them, you know, they're rare to find. I don't know why they're so rare, because every time I find one, I'm like, oh, a little XP. Every time I get excited about it. I throw it down.
Yeah.
And it's always disappointing because you get very little XP from 1 bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sure if you can trade for those. Can you trade for a bottle of XP?
You can.
From the
cleric.
The cleric, that's right. Yeah, you'd have to get a bunch of those in order to see any significance of that XP. There's way better XP farms out there. So the bottle of XP, I feel like, is just, I don't know. It looks pretty cool, but I use it immediately when I get it. I never save it for anything special.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, here's a little bit of extra XP. Throw it down and go along your way. But as far as that, there's really no use for it.
Yeah. It was a little useful when Elytras first came out. Bank showed me that, hey, if you take all your armor off and stuff, you just run the Elytra, you can throw a couple of those down and get a decent repair. But like you said, you're having to throw multiple down to see any real significance. And well, with the way trading is nowadays, it's a lot easier to come across a bunch of them if you do it right.
Yeah.
But I'd like more XP. Make it where just 2 bottles can fully repair any item.
Yeah.
So that way if I carry 20 on me, I can just clean my armor all the way up, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not enough XP.
Right. That's my only issue. It's so disappointing.
Yeah. My number 3 is the wooden sword. And let's face it, when you're starting a new world, nobody crafts a wooden sword because you craft a wooden pickaxe and you're 3 blocks away from stone. So you're already crafting a stone sword, which has much better durability and attack on it. So, yeah, I don't know of anyone who would craft a wooden sword unless your name's Decoy and you do that whole wooden tool series. But even then, I'd be curious to know if Decoy actually crafted a wooden sword in that series, or he just used an axe until he was able to find any other sword. So, wooden sword, useless.
Yeah, when I make even stone items, I'll make a stone axe. It's just as useful as a stone sword.
Uh-huh.
I don't make a sword until I get iron, really.
Right.
Yeah, the wooden sword, that's a good one. It's pretty useless.
It really is.
I know only good way to use that is if you were enchanting, and if you needed to get rid of enchantments, you can use, it's cheap wooden sword, throw it in there, try to get, use up an enchantment. But then again, you have grindstones now.
Uh-huh.
So you can use your original sword and just take the enchantments off of it. You don't need to do that anymore. So, yeah, that's pretty good number 3.
What about you? What's your number 2?
Number 2, tripwire hooks. We've talked a little bit about this. I don't know if it won one of the block of the weeks or we used it at the end, but we did talk about this a little bit. We feel like there should be a lot more to it ever since the trap chest has become useless. That's another one. Tripwire hooks are kind of useless. Now, there are some farms that you can use these for. You can use them for traps and stuff, but there's new things coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Even traps are going to be, I don't know, tripwires or traps will be useless.
Yeah, I feel tripwire hooks should go the way of decoration as a way to save them.
Yeah.
We see it with armor stand modifications now, using the tripwire hooks to kind of hang tools and stuff, it's great. I wish Mojang would kind of fall and do a decoration update, maybe with some more paintings, some better paintings, better ways to display tools or items. I still feel like every mob should drop a head without needing a data pack to do that. Like, that should be a vanilla thing.
Yeah.
But yes, tripwire hooks, technically they have multiple uses, but they still all can be done better with better items. So yeah, I agree with you. Tripwire hooks, useless.
Yep, I don't use them.
Nope. And let's face it, if you fall for a tripwire hook trap, you deserve to be trapped.
You totally deserve that.
Yeah. In Redstone, they still have some importance, but yeah, there's better ways to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is any soup/stew. I'm looking at you, Suspicious Stew. Even you are useless. The fact that you can't stack any of these, and some of them are very good for your food bar and replenish quite a bit, but the fact that you can't carry multiples in a stack, taking up all that inventory space, bundles are still useless again because you can't carry multiple of them in a bundle. To me, bundles were stew and soup's last chance to be a relevant food source, and they crapped all over it. So, yeah. Stews, soup, I don't care what special attributes your suspiciousness can give me. Useless.
Yeah. It'd be nice to at least, like you have the Ender Pearl, it stacks to 16.
Yeah.
Why can't it do that at least? I'd even be okay with that. Probably still wouldn't carry it around. You can put 64 cooked steaks in your inventory. Why would you carry around 16 soups?
And trust me, I get the logistics of you can't stack soup in real life.
Right.
So I get what they're trying to say. But it's Minecraft. I can't carry 27 soups in my pocket anyways in real life.
Yeah, or walk around with diamond armor. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, but if I could.
Oh, if I could. Yeah, if I find a soup or stew, I'm eating it immediately.
Yeah.
It's just going to take up an inventory slot. Even the wooden bowl are easy to make. I toss that, you don't really need a wooden bowl.
Yeah, see, wooden bowl was originally my number 2. And then I said, you know what? Forget it. We're going soups and stew.
Yeah.
Get that out of here. I've been talking about Minecraft food needs to be worked on for forever now. We're putting food on the useless list.
Yeah, I mean, you could even put the bowl in that category, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're used for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Stews, soups, like I said, I eat it when I get it, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, it's a bad effect. It's not a good one.
Yeah. Not even a fun effect.
I go blind. I eat this, I go blind. Hey, what kind of food's that?
Yeah. And I'm sure there's like mini games and stuff that take advantage of this and all that stuff. But nope, don't care. Useless.
Yep.
Before we talk about number ones, I want to talk about what my number one was going to be.
Mm.
And it might surprise a lot of people, especially how much I talked it up in the Nether update. But my number one was going to be the netherite block.
Mm.
Because it's so expensive to make. It takes so much grinding to make. It's so not worth it to make one. Because if you want to make anything look good, you're definitely going to need multiples of it to use it in any kind of decoration.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's useless in that fact. Granted, you can use it in a beacon, you can do the stuff, but if you craft another netherite block, you can't uncraft it, can you?
Yeah.
You can? Okay.
Yeah, if you were to stack netherite and you don't have room, which who has that not much netherite, to be honest?
Yeah.
You can always stack it in blocks.
Well, there you go. Well, that's one thing. But I realized it was a block and we weren't doing blocks, so I took it off the useless list. But I figured I'd throw it in there before we revealed our number ones that netherite block was almost useless, no matter how good it looks. Because of its rarity, useless.
Yeah, especially in a build.
Yeah. Number one, what do you got?
My number one useless item is the dragon egg.
Useless.
Nothing to do with it. Can't do nothing with it. I guess you could, I don't know if it's patched, but you could break bedrock with it in bedrock.
Right.
Right?
I didn't know if it was patched or not when I thought about the dragon egg, and I was like, well, you can break bedrock with it, so it's not useless for that.
Right.
But everywhere I see people is doing the TNT trick with pistons.
Yeah, duping the dragon egg is too far of the cheaty method for me. Anything you duplicate, I'm not a big fan of, unless it's TNT because it ignites as you duplicate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to have. It's like a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
The dragon egg, there's only one, unless you duplicate it. It's nice in that aspect. I've saw some cool ways to use it in decorations, but you'll need more than one. It's kind of, I don't know. It's just for display. But besides that, it's useless.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think Legacy SMP does it where if you kill the dragon, every time you kill the dragon, it drops the egg and a head, which is kind of cool. I don't know if they're using the eggs to break bedrock. I don't know if that's a thing still or not.
Yeah, kind of curious.
Yeah, other than decoration, it's useless.
Mm-hmm.
Let me hatch my own baby dragon, dang it, so I can ride it.
Yeah, that'd be a great use.
Mm-hmm. My number one won't stay useless for very long.
Yep.
My number one is tropical fish. And not the tropical fish you catch with a bucket, but the kind you catch with a fishing rod. And you can eat it, but it's such a horrible food source, I don't know why you would even consider it. But obviously, next update in 117, oxalotls are going to eat tropical fish. Aubni reminded me that because I was like, am I missing something with tropical fish? And he reminded me 117 oxalotls will do stuff for tropical fish, which is nice. And I think Mojang's kind of going back and doing the, hey, this is kind of a useless item. We need to come up with a way to make it not so useless.
Yeah.
Looking at you, poisonous potatoes. But tropical fish, because this is a now top 5 useless items in Minecraft. Not tomorrow's top 5 useless, but now tropical fish rank at the top.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They did fix the hoe, and now they're fixing the tropical fish. And I wouldn't even say fixing it, definitely giving it a upgrade, but like if you're not interested in the axolotls, you're not going to be interested in the tropical fish.
Nope.
Because that's the only reason you're going to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even before this update, like long before, the whole time, this tropical fish has been useless, taking up inventory slots. It's just, in the fish farms, it's one of the main items you're going to throw away, and I don't think you can cook it. It's just raw tropical fish, so it's kind of useless.
Yeah, I didn't see anywhere where a cooked tropical fish was a thing.
No, I don't think it is.
And it's like rabbit hide. If you don't give a crap about bundles, you don't care about rabbit hide. So, useless.
Yeah, still could remain useless. But we've got a list for Mojang to look at if they want to,
Tell us how dumb our list is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Oh, you can do this with that. You can do this with that.
Why are you not using this like that? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, I think that's going to do it for today's show. But before Jimbo reads us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Aubni, ChiefBigBear, Crock, FragileRock, StoneFigure, OfficialCCL, viperoustuna, and YDYT. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/thewithering effect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links will be in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found down in the show notes. You guys have been awesome, as always. Thanks for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.